Welcome to Warblog. Today we're looking at the recapture of Sirte, Libya. This is not the first time I've done this. I've done this this is my third attempt, I think. Might have even done it another time. And it sort of went wrong. First time I gave up because I went off on a rant, and then the next time I did it, it went wrong. But it's sort of not too bad because it sort of changed slightly, and I made some variations. For example, when I first did it, these units here, this is a sort of a Turkish backed mechanized unit, and below it, I'm pointing. You can't see what I'm pointing with my finger, but it's an armoured Turkish sort of armoured unit. I don't know whether these things are here, but you know, they're getting a lot of support, and they're getting a lot of 11,000 sort of Syrian type mercenaries. But they've also got a lot of these drones. The thing is, that now includes the Egyptian armoured units that were sent to the border on the 7th of June, which is like yesterday. And so now we've got those, but they don't appear till quite late, and there aren't as many of them. But you know, the fact that they are there, and I've given them some fairly tough ones there. So these are the Libyan Egyptian armoured units. So they're basically Libyan units, and the Egyptians have sent them some armoured units because the peace negotiations broke down, and so they got a few more here, but they don't arrive until quite late. So we've now got, because I played it couple of times, and obviously I toned these down because these were like 8.86s, and the thing is, nothing can beat them. They're still tough, but the balance, you know, I mean, it was like over the top. So I'm going to play. I don't think I'm going to play it like with the same sort of keen interest that I played the Sirte Hill game. And the reason I sort of wanted to play it was because, and I've said this a few times now in previous videos that have obviously been scrapped, was that all the ones at the top of the line on the YouTube channel for are Sirte Hill, and it bugs me really because no one really looks at big series games. You know, if I do like 6 videos on the same game, people are clearly not looking at them. People are not looking at anything anyway, but. So I'm just trying to break that up as well. So I'm really not sure about the strategy. A, because I know that there's going to be some reinforcements. B, because things have sort of changed. Essentially, it's sort of, well, it's quite clear that the LNA really have to sort of retreat, but there are some sort of, it's not as simple as that. And this is just all sort of gamey sort of stuff as to why it's not so simple. Let's use my favourite green, my new favourite, because essentially what I did down here, we can take those out, you know, as the LNA, so we can actually sort of, and here we can sort of take these out and almost advance. The thing is, you don't want to advance, but the thing is, you've got 2 layers here, and this is sort of what I'm sort of getting to some extent, is that we can quite easily knock these out, you know, and vice versa. But these ones are really tough. Now we've got these howitzers down here, but the thing is, with the howitzers, the damage against the armoured units is a lot different. We've got them down here and down here, and another thing to bear in mind is, as the battle sort of progresses this way, and the GNA start to use their drones. Yeah, the drawing tool doesn't work on that down there. When they start to use their drones there, the air defense units start to kick in more and more significantly, which is interesting. So there's actually, when I first played this, I thought boring because essentially there's a ton of units and the GNA should win. But the thing is, it's I made some observations and comments. Won't really sort of repeat them too much. Just sort of generalizations, really. But I think the general conception of what I was trying to communicate was that obviously these are proxy wars. So we've got the Turkish, on one side, the Turks on one side with other nations. I can't remember who. And then you got the Egyptians and the Russians and the UAE on the other side, supplying, and it's to some extent it's not so much a case of how skilled and brave each of these sides are. It's how much sort of hardware their sort of their sponsors provide them, so to speak. So anyway, let's just sort of get it. So basically, my strategy is that I don't have one really. The government and National Court go first. So to some extent, what I'm going to do, well, the thing is, I want to draw these back. Not because I've got a great idea, because I sort of already know that I'm going to probably attack them. So that means they've got to come forward, which probably means they'll only get one attack, not two against those units. So that's maybe fair enough. But these ones were the front line units that I attacked last time, and I think I'm going to do the same again. But they're pretty tough. I added this stack here, and I'm pointing again with my finger, you can't see, but I added this stack. I added a few more units down here as well, but not too much. That wasn't there before, but these ones will be pushed back quite easily, but not that easily. So, and what I'm going to do is 4-5-4. Just get some drone work going in the first instance. The drones are quite interesting in the sense that obviously there's a lot of drone activity in this part of in the modern war now, and to some extent I'm trying to sort of maybe integrate it a bit more in the overall scheme of things. I don't like the air war because it's fairly boring, but at the same time I think it's becoming more and more relevant, because that's what they're doing. They're using drones, and so putting them in there should give you a flavour for what's happening. I think it's interesting as well to read about the American development on a sort of a fighter jet type drone that can engage in air-to-air combat with regular fighters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we'll go back on this and attack this stack here. Now, what we haven't seen are any drones be shot down yet. We've got one anti-aircraft unit down here. So obviously they're trying, but we haven't seen any. So there's a lot of drone activity going on. There you go, he's at quarter strength. But however, that said, maybe there's too many drones in there. I don't know. I just put them in there to really reflect that the reason they've got this momentum is because they've got a lot of drones. But I don't really know, and no one really knows what's happening. So anyway, we've attacked all these, and to be quite honest, I wasn't even looking at the amount of damage. I'm going to assume that they've been damaged. They're not big stacks. There's only 3, 3, and 3. Now, what I did before was get the units in, but they were tougher before, and we've got anti-aircraft there. So I think the general thing, see, these two will be 10 versus 3 plus their depression, so we'll get 3 or 4 to 1 against that without even moving. So I don't know, because I can get 2 in against that. I think I'll put my armoured unit there, and then I'm going to try and get my mechanised unit against this unit. Okay, so we've pushed them back. They all seem to go in the same direction, mainly, mainly because it's the only one that wasn't the zone of control. Okay. I was going to say I won all battles the last time, but in this one I sort of feel there's something missing somewhere. But that was obviously an exchange, so we didn't push them back, which is interesting. Now the armoured units all out. So this might be a 3-to-1, depending on 4-to-1 DE. Okay, so we've got 2 out of the 3. That's interesting, because that's a zone of control, that's a zone of control, so they've messed up over here. Now the interesting thing about this to some extent is that let's get these onto this road. The interesting thing is that right, that's their turn. The interesting thing is that the LNA have a choice here, and it's not so much a choice, but they can attack, and we'll get onto that now. Now, you've got to imagine this situation. I mean, they're losing. They've lost the 2 airports and Hauna, or whatever it's called. They're being pushed back readily, presumably because the GNA have got lots and lots of new, fresh units and hardware. But they still feel that they should be on the offensive, maybe. I don't know if they do. But the thing is, they could attack here, and they can. But the thing is, if we attack, we keep our forward positions and open ourselves up for attack. Now, what I thought of last time was to, and it's quite interesting really, to fall back as soon as possible. So instead of going for these attacks, like I went forward to attack these units, forward to attack these units. Here we're a bit stuck, but for example, we could easily attack this unit. We could easily attack this unit. We've got howitzers. They're okay, but the thing is, you want to use the howitzers against these armoured and mechanised units, but when you hit them, you get much reduced effect. So we could destroy this unit, we could destroy this unit, and this one, for example, and that might be sort of, well, that sounds good, we're really pushing it. But once we start to get head to head with these units as they come on, because there will be a few of them, and all the reinforcements come on, we realise, oh, hang on, we're a bit far forward here. And also, these howitzer units are really good, but they soon get swamped and you start to move them back, but they can only move one hex a turn until they get onto the road, so it's going to take 3 turns to get there. And so the thing is, I think I'm going to have to commit to moving them back as soon as possible. Now I can move him 1, 2 and get him onto the road, or 1, 2, 3 onto the road, 1, 2, so you could probably be in the same place. But let's just commit them. So I'm not moving these units. I'm trying to get them to the road as soon as possible. But I might be able to fire this guy, and it would be nice if I could fire him at this mechanised unit. 2.2, but the damage inflicted was 1.5 because it's not as much. But we have damaged that mechanized unit, and almost as a result, you see we've got this little guy here as well. See, he's 3. I mean, we could almost do some damage against him. I mean, we can get 5, 10, 15. That'd be a 5 to 1 alone against that. We could easily bring back. I think I'm going to do that. Let's just use these guys. Oh, we eliminated it. I don't think I'm going to be able to eliminate this unit, but pushed him back. Another DR, but it was only a DR. Okay. But we can also just probably do something against this unit. This is the difficulty, you see. I've done quite well. I've kept a forward position, attacking, done some damage, but the problem is I'm now in a forward position. DE. You see, this is what I did the other day. I'm a glutton for sort of. Well, the thing is, to some extent, by advancing a little bit, I give my howitzers time to get onto that road. Because I really want to use those howitzers. My hands are really cold for some reason. That's rubbish. The armoured unit went in there. I'm not going to advance anything from here. I might redeploy these. There. Right. Okay, well, you see, it looks good, doesn't it? But we've got all these drones back now, and then we've got more armour, and so we're slowly going to find that this is going to be less tenable. But we did manage to destroy that unit, and I think that was quite good. So let's see what damage we can do. Now we've got 1, 2, 3. Do we want to go for that? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What I should have done was brought this air defence nearer. That's what I meant to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put 2 against each, and then 2 against that lot, or whatever. 2 against each, and then I'll decide. Okay, so we've got 4 more, one against each. So I keep pressing the button and nothing happens because my fingers are somehow cold. It's the middle of June and I'm cold. I've got an idea why. I've got my windows open, but I don't want to shut them. It's such a hassle. I feel as though, because I've got good windows here in this situation, and I feel obliged to make the most of some fresh air whilst I have windows that allow fresh air to come in a sort of fresh airy way. It's a bit odd, but right. So we used all the drones, but now we can start attacking. Quite a few of these units have been damaged. Now the thing is, I tried to run away here, but we can actually fight back. But we've been hit. Because that's only going to be worth 4. Let's hit it straight on. You see, this represents all this influx of fresh troop. You know, the Syrian mercenaries or the Syrian whatever that the Turks have brought over, that balances out to being quite a big sort of weighting factor in what's actually happening. See, look, once they start to go, and this is what happened yesterday actually, once they started to go, they went quickly. Let's run away with him, because if they come anywhere nearer, they're just going to get slowly drawn out. Might be a 2-to-1. Let's go for it. No, just an exchange. So lots of bloody fighting happening along here. Oh, we've got that armoured unit in there. Let's leave him to recover. So it's now the LNA turn. Going to do 2 things here. Going to push these things as far back as we can, as quickly as we can. I'm going to push him forward. 1, 2, 3. So he should cover all these for these drones. Now we don't want to push too far forward with this stuff, I don't think. Do we want to attack here? What we do have though is anti-tank. 2 damage. 0.7 damage. We routed his armoured unit. It seems to be doing very well, relatively speaking. Can we get anything against this? No. I was thinking about the howitzers, but they're too far back. It's interesting actually, because if we can keep this little momentum up, I might be able to sort of, I don't know. I think the problem is that if I was really going to play this strategy properly, I would start bringing all this stuff up much quicker. I have assumed that I'm going to be pushed back, but at the moment it looks as though if I keep up at this rate, I might be able to sort of, destroy everything that comes on piecemeal. Okay, so we're sort of doing some damage. Come on. No. Well, spoiled for choice really. I'd go for one on each. So he's sort of knackered. They're all being pushed back quite readily. See, these are fresh. We could destroy both of those units. What have we got in there? It would be nice, but we've got this stack here to destroy that. I'm getting a bit interested here because I'm beginning to think, you know, I could probably do this. Right. Is that 2 units? One routed, one eliminated? It's just getting a bit too sort of like fantastic, really. These are all fresh units, but there are only 3. Let's just not worry about the maths and let's just do all of them. 5, 10, 15. Let's try this. Oh God, I could kick myself. Oh, that is just so sort of. Maybe I shouldn't get this excited when I'm doing these sorts of things because, you know, if I hadn't done that, I could have actually. That could have been a battle that has changed the course of this war. Use everything. Another. Oh God, that's not good. I needed to make some momentum there. Oh, at least he destroyed that unit. Now that really has bugged me, you know, because I could have destroyed these stacks and moved on to that stack, and now I can't, and now I'm sort of lost the edge there a little, because they'd be able to attack next turn. But I brought my air defense forward. Let's see. I could play this another time and really hammer down on that strategy. But we've got a big stack there. Well, let's put 4 on it. We'll put 4, 4, and then the rest on this stuff here, whatever that ends up at. Now I'm hoping to get some shot down. Oh yes, that's what I wanted. 0. Half strength. This is because we've got the additional air defense in there. This is the 3rd one. And the 4th one. It's making a difference, that air defense. So I could have brought all of them back. So if I'd brought all this stuff forward, it would have been, you know, I could probably do it. And the things with the drones, as you start to lose them, see, look, hard. Okay. And let's, as we said, try this anti-tank stuff down here. The one thing to bear in mind is that I could be going for those howitzers. That's another consideration I had, because if I start moving down, those howitzers are going to start playing. So there's a quarter. I was reading today about how they've shot one down, and you know, so the rate of shooting them down seems fairly consistent. Okay, but we've got reinforcements. Again, some armour and some of these guys. So we managed to maintain the integrity of these. Just trying to figure out how best to do this. I mean, he is not good, so he better. But can he attack? We really should just try and move him away. And let's try and at least help him. And no, I mean they're just dead. So right, do we want to attack this stack? I think I'm going to attack that and that. Yep. So the tide is turning. I mean, I'm ruining that 4-1 failure because I could have put in more. I usually put in more. I usually think, oh, I'm going to just do everything, but it's my nature to try and skimp, you know, to use only some of them so I can get just that extra attack somewhere else. Look at that. This is where it goes, you see. This is the problem with trying this advanced defense. Come on. It's a slow computer as well. It's a really old one. It seems to work okay, but an exchange. Ooh, that wasn't good. So we can get one more attack here, but they're going to be in a town, aren't they? Is it going to be worth doing that? Yeah, they're not that beat up, are they? Depression 0, Depression 0, Depression 0. Yeah, I think we can give this a go. It'd be nice if we can get that air defense unit out. DR, yep. And maybe we can even take that and go for the air defense unit again. Come on. I just keep my hand. It's just, I think it's a combination of this computer being a bit slow and my hands being cold, and that's that. So obviously we've got a problem. We've got a drone. This is interesting. We get some artillery. We're using our howitzers at last. Let's see whether we can destroy all these air defense units that they suddenly brought into. Look at them. Suddenly brought into the fort. Let's think about this, because a lot of that is anti-tank, and I want to use the anti-tank against tank units, which we have here. Fresh tank units. No, that wasn't as good as the previous one, was it? Oh, come on, please. Cold hands. Do your business. I'm going to leave these. This is the big attack. And this is really just because they brought all these air defense units so close. Got one routed. Oh, an exchange. Well, that's a shame because I've got one drone. But what can I do with that drone? Do I feel lucky? So these air defense units are not really that beat up. He is. So we destroyed both of those units. Routed that. Right, I'm going to try this drone against this. What's going on here? Well, he survived. I was really concerned that I would lose that drone. Obviously we don't have that many of them. I'm not going to attack that stack because it's too much. I would like to attack that, but I wonder if I can get anything in there. Go for another attack there. Should have done this before. Yes, so we destroyed another air defense unit, which is nice. What's that? What's he doing there? I wonder if I can attack him with my air defense unit. I'm going to bring these guys forward. I don't want to bring too much forward, but I'm going to start bringing these guys forward. Right. Okay, that's that. Well, this is interesting. Lots of drones. 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 4, 4. 4, 4, 3. Oh, come on. One, two, three, 4. Shot down. Oh, come on, I press the button. That's how it goes. Look, I just do one more hit. Aborted. Routed. Nearly an hour's gone. Okay. Oh, he can go. I want to rush forward and try and destroy this air defense unit. I'm tempted to do that because I can take him out probably with something quite easily. It's this unit, this stack here, that I want to take out in some capacity. I might go down here and destroy these units with armor and one irregular unit as a task force down here, because these guys are sort of being a problem, and we should be able to do something about that. So there should be a 4-1. Seven to 1. So we eliminated one of them, and we've got loads more Well, it's nearly it's nearly an hour, so I'm going to have to finish this. But I'm going to be glad to finish it, not because I'm not enjoying it, because I'm cold. But I think this is. I'm not going to do another turn or anything like that. Look at that. But this is a fantastic game. I really enjoyed this, mainly because it's very clear that this holding this advancement is not a good idea. The thing is, what I'm saying is, if I was to continue this, the game for Sirte is on. They've committed themselves in an advanced position, and the overwhelming advance of this continual reinforcement of the GNA has shown its colour, so to speak, proven its worth. Three minutes. I'm rushing a bit because of the 3 minutes, but I just wish these would just, I'm moving things, and look, maybe it just doesn't. I don't know whether I don't think it wants to move. Right, I'm going to use this guy here. I'm just sort of trying to rush this into the last 2 minutes. But oh, come on. Seems so slow. Right, that's it. There's nothing else that can do anything. Obviously not going to play another turn, but clearly decimated this front line. This probably wipe out all of this. We'll take out all of this. We've got this slowly defending line. They're going to have to get their howitzers on here. Maybe form a line here. At least we can get our air defense. This guy could have done something against that. I'm not sure whether he had any movement left, but we've not got much longer. But they will then start to come down here to Sirte. But oh look, we've got some reinforcements, and I don't think I used them. I wonder when they came on. This could definitely be done again. This is like one of those games that sort of naturally balances out, and I did make some changes, but not to make it balance, just to reflect certain things, and it's really interesting. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.